This video is about animal versus plant protein. What a good question. We are going to go over two principles and they will answer questions like, is having two hard-boiled eggs the same as having a chicken breast? Or is throwing pumpkin seeds on a salad the same as having lentils? So if you're new here, my name is Deb Day. I'm 64 years old, and several years ago I had to switch part of my animal protein to plant protein due to allergies. It was important to me to keep the muscles that I have, and I had to learn. I took courses, I studied, I researched, and I learned a lot. I want to share that information with you. So you're over 50 and you're going through changes and you are finding that what you used to do before isn't working for you anymore, then this information is for you. So maybe you're wondering, I don't know if any of this is important to me. And if that's the case, then check the video out and that'll answer some of those questions. Now, it would have been so easy if we could do the things that we used to do years ago, where we just threw supper on the table. It was stuff we liked or stuff that we could get the kids to eat. But that's not the way it is anymore for us. Things are changing. Hormones are playing a factor. Our bodies don't absorb protein like they used to. So it is really important that we have a nutrient-dense meal that is designed to suit the requirements that our bodies have at the age we are now in order to get our health back on track. So there are two things that we are going to go over. And the first one is around nutrition, the nutritional value. Now, in animal protein on one hand, you have a complete amino acid profile. If you're not sure what that means, check the video out here and that will answer some of those questions for you. Whereas in plant protein, for the most part, they do not have a complete amino acid profile. Now, there are some differences, or there are some exceptions. So plant-based proteins are divided into 4 categories: pulses, grains, nuts and seeds, corn and soya. So when you're putting your meal together, you have to make sure that you have at least 2 of those categories in your meal in order to get that complete profile. So here's another difference under nutrients. Animal protein has a vitamin B12, vitamin D, omega-3s. It has heme iron and zinc, where you might not necessarily find those in your plant-based protein. On the other hand, your plant-based protein will have fiber that your animal protein will not. So you need both. So animal protein is more bioavailable. And what does that mean? That means that our body can break down that protein and absorb it faster than plant protein can. Why is that important? It's important for athletes. It's important for people who are recovering from illnesses or diseases or treatments like chemotherapy. Whereas plant protein, for those people that have that diet like a vegetarian, you will find that they tend to have lower heart disease, lower cholesterol, lower blood pressure, lower hypertension, and less instances of type 2 diabetes. So if you are finding value in this content, I would love to know. I would love for you to put your comments. Tell me what you'd like to see or like to discuss. Please click like, click subscribe, and click the little bell so that you get notifications when the next video comes up. Okay, on to number 2. Protein value per serving. So for this discussion, we are going to be talking about serving sizes of 100 grams. We'll talk later about what that means. So for animal protein, chicken breast has 32, beef has 29, tuna salmon has 24, cottage cheese has 13, and a single hard-boiled egg has 6. Whereas plant protein, when you have something like pumpkin seeds, has 33, peanut butter has 25, almonds have 22, lentils have 9, peas have 5, brown rice has 3. So you can see that the animal protein has higher protein value generally. So the serving size, this is the thing to remember when you are looking at all of them, but especially the plant protein. This is a bag of pumpkin seeds. There's 227 grams in this bag. Now, right now it's almost empty. But if I'm looking at 33 grams of protein in a 100-gram serving size, that's almost half this bag. But when you look at the nutritional value on the back, this bag is supposed to contain 8 servings, and each serving only has 7 grams of protein. So what that means is you really have to measure your serving size. You might have to weigh your meat sizes. And it's like, oh, I don't want to have to do this stuff. I get it. I didn't either. But I had to. And I learned so much just by going through that exercise. So this is what I want you to do. For 2 weeks, and this is where the tip comes in, because I have something that I'm going to suggest to you that's going to make this really easy. For 2 weeks, I want you to track. I want you to track what you eat. I want you to track your macros. Well, what's a macro? A macro is your proteins, carbs, and fats. So there's an app for that. Well, of course there's an app for that. So what you use the app for is you will track what your serving size, how much you're having. It will tell you how much protein, how much carbs, all of those things that are in it. It will let you know what those values are. You just have to weigh it or measure it and add it. The app will do all the calculations for you. So where do you find an app? Well, I'm going to put a link in the description. And that link is to an article from Men's Health where they did a review of apps, and they have picked out their top 5. So that should give you an idea of where to get started. I mean, if you're like me, I do my meal planning when I get groceries, because then I get to see what's on sale. I get to see what it looks like, how fresh it is, what's even on the shelf. And I will say, well, if I'm going to have this and this and this, and if I'm making a salad, well, I can add all of these things into my salad. Then I will just pull up my phone, I'll plug some of those things into the phone, I'll say, what's the nutritional value? And then it will tell me, well, if I add this and this, but it's not going to give me enough protein, what else am I going to add? I have pumpkin seeds at home, I have hemp seeds at home, I have all of these things that I can add to it, and that will get my protein count up there. Super, super easy. I would also suggest to you is that you do a Google search on plant protein. Use the word list if you like, and you would be surprised when it comes up with that list how many of your vegetables actually have some protein. Broccoli has protein in it. So when you look at all the things that you're going to add in your salad or have as a side dish or whatever you're going to do, you would be surprised at how that contributes to your total protein count. Super easy. Super easy. Well, I hope you found value in the information. And if you did, I would love to have you join me the next time. Click subscribe, click like, drop a comment if there's something that you want me to cover, and click the little bell so that you know when the next video is ready. And I want you to remember, if you haven't heard me say this before already, our goal is to be the healthiest version of ourselves possible and to have a kick-ass life. So thank you for joining me, and I'll see you in the next video.